Well, hello everybody. It's getting cold and I'm about done for the night, so I figured I'd do a little wrap up here on where I'm at with this thing. As you can see, I've made bukus of progress. The whole rear of the car is off the ground, so I'm gonna call it a night. I've got most of my power steering lines about done. I got a couple little silly things I gotta do, then I'm gonna rivet all these up somewhere so they're out of the way and tidy instead of just dilly dangling around. I have decided to undo my Ghetto wire tuck because I started on it with the fuse box and the fender like I talked about, and I came out here and looked at it like 7 or 8 times. I didn't work on it, and I was like, man. And so F all that noise. The car's not going to be pretty anyway. I got real excited and randy with this engine bay getting painted, and I forgot that I'm working on a garbage truck. So back to the engine bay with this garbage, and it's all there. I think I've got my wiring mostly figured out. There's a couple little piddly things I don't have sorted. It's not done, but I think I know what I'm doing. So pretty much the harness for the car up through the fender, plugging into the in there. All of that is stock. That's the headlights and stuff. After that, runs out through here over and plugs into the engine side of the car, the ECM side harness. All of that's staying. I'm not using. So this big ground that went to the battery just ran to the frame. I think I'm going to use this. This is the starter trigger for the car. So I think I'm going to use that for now. I might just have the control pack start it. I don't really know. If you have any opinions, feel free to chime in there. It just seems simpler to not have to wire up all that crap too, and I already had the wire. So all that runs around. I tucked up my AC control. This fan control, I don't guess I'm going to use this either. So I'll probably roll all this up and tuck it in there somewhere and zip tie it, because the control pack will run the fan. So yeah, I might use this plug and just splice into the wires. I don't know. My ECM I mounted in the cowl. I saw one dude that did it and it looked dope, and I did it and it looks like trash, but that's perfect. I mismeasured when I cut the plastic piece on the front. Basically, I pulled this cowl cover off, and it's just a piece of steel in there, and I cut it. Thank you. I love you too. I cut it out, riv nutted the ECM in. So I've just got some 13 millimeter bolts holding that in, so that's cool. And then just cut this plastic piece badly, as you can tell on both sides. But that's all right. So yeah, there's that. All right, so then control pack. So here's your ECM wiring harness, control pack wiring, these 2 plugs. I've got alternator and MAF over there. Here's where I am now. Ugh! I want to use stock gauges someday, maybe. I don't know, I might not. So I've left the ECM wiring harness from the car here, right? It's jiggling around, it's in the way. And it goes through this giant hole in the firewall. I zip tied my control pack junction box power dealy, which needs some juice still. I don't have it wired in. It's just floppy cocking up in there. But I don't want to run. I want this in the car, but I don't want to cut a huge hole in this, mainly because I just don't want to. I'm lazy. But you got to run a hole big enough to fit these guys through to put that in the car. Whereas this way, this is all that I need in the car. This is like fuel pump, throttle pedal, some other thing, probably clutch switch that I'm going to bypass because this car has never had a clutch switch in it. And then this connector here, which I can just run this through that maybe existing hole from the ECM, just rape that boot a little bit and cram her through there. And then I've got this excess that I'll just zip tie up behind the wheel well. This also is nice for the O2 sensor placement. It's got long tubes, obviously. I'd like to see how you guys route your O2s. I'm just gonna I think zip tie onto this support. I can't see in there, but anyway, kind of like this maybe, and then just run them back. But I don't know, they're gonna be low and dangling and hot. So, I guess if you have any advice, maybe. Man, I could fit this, if I can fit this connector through that hole, surely I can fit the Coyote connector through there. But I don't want to have this big old box in my car. Where are we gonna put this guy? Thing's freaking, it's the size of a, you know, like a, I don't know, it's big. It's a big thing. I don't want to put that in the car. Plenty of real estate in here. The charcoal canister's still in the car. I guess, I don't know. I don't want the garage smelling like gas. They say that makes that bad, but so anyway, there's that. All of this stuff's really simple. Once you start like reading it, it's pretty simple to, you know what to do. Oh, other problem with running it this way that I don't like is my OBD2 port is in my engine bay or in my fender well. I'm not gonna put the fender well because I like to get to the thing. So this is kind of ghetto. Do y'all just like let this hang out in here like it's OBD1, like I'm some kind of 92 F-150 or something? Or, you know, that's kind of stupid. I could extend it, I guess, and run it in the cab, which would be less ghetto. So I might do that. Or someone will probably enlighten me as to what I've done wrong here. And, you know, I'll do that instead, because usually my ideas are terrible. Speaking of terrible ideas, let's see how this battery mount situation has turned out. Oh, yeah, right there in the passenger floor. I got a, oh, it's not tight, but got a box or a tray in there. I'll put it in a box eventually or get a non-lead acid battery. I can't run it like this in autocross, but for driving around, it'll be fine. Ran the power out the back and along the floor. Ground just to the floor in there. I think that'll work. So that power cable, if you guys see any problems with this, let me know. Comes up through here along my brake line, right in here to the hot on the starter. I tried to keep it away from all the header primaries. Did a pretty good job. There's 2 inches between. I might get like a spark plug boot dilly to put on there to insulate it or something, like one of them Kevlar things. Okay, so this is my stock battery cable, actually, the positive. I cut it. This runs up to the car power supply on the fuse box over there, right? So that comes around to here. I think I'm gonna run just a short little simple alternator wire from the factory, or from the Coyote alternator, which I don't even have one yet, from here to there. If that won't work, let me know. I think I'm gonna use this stock wire from the stock wiring harness. It's got fusible links in it, which is cool. Yeah, so it's long enough for sure. I can put new ends on it if I need to. I'll just strip that out of this harness, stab that in there, and run to that, which I think is fine. I don't know, guys. If it's not, you know, tell me. I haven't seen a lot of videos like with battery relocation on these cars, and I hear the alternator charging can be a little finicky on them, so I don't know. And then maybe to run my control pack, I'll run a hot wire off this post. Yes, that one right there. Back around to power the control pack. And then I think like the wiring would be like done besides just plugging up stuff and putting fuel rails in it. So anyway, or probably not. I don't know. It'll probably catch on fire. We'll see. So that's where we are right now. Toodles.